Welcome to the Jamesburg Presbyterian Church. Today is Tuesday, April the 6th, 2021. Today we're taking a look at the book of Tobit, chapters 9 through chapter 11. This would be 9, 10, and 11. Last time we left off with Tobiah successfully marrying Sarah and being rid of the demon that possessed her. At this point in time, Tobiah is now interested in completing the primary task of recovering the money from Rages, his uncle in Rages in Media. So what happens is Tobiah calls Raphael and says, "Brother Azariah, I would like you to take some servants with you, some camels, and continue the journey to Rages. Go to Gabael's house, present to him these papers with my father's signature on it, and bring them along with, and then when you recover the money, bring the family back to the wedding celebration." Remember that he is now involved in a 14-day wedding reception. So they do this. They leave the next day. Raphael goes. This is approximately 185 miles that they must cover two ways, with camels walking or riding. It's a long journey. They get to Gabael's house. Gabael greets them. They recover the money. They give him the bond papers. They recover the money. The money is put onto the camels, and then the whole entourage goes back to Ecbatana. There, Gabael sees Tobiah. Tobiah must look remarkably similar to his father, Tobit, and Gabael is overcome with emotion, and he acknowledges that Tobit is, quote, "an upright and charitable man, noble and good," and wishes blessings upon Tobiah and his new wife, Sarah. What happens next in chapter 10? They've now recovered the money. Tobiah goes to his father-in-law and says, "Look, my father's probably worried to death about how long I've been." He has been delayed. He's been delayed because of the wedding celebration. And he appreciates the wedding celebration, but on the other hand, he feels he has a duty to return to his father so his father and mother are not worried about him. He said, "My father will be counting the days." And in fact, the camera pans back to Tobit, and Tobit is counting the days. As we go back to Tobit, Anna says, "My son has perished and is no longer among the living." And she begins to weep and wail over her son. "Alas, my son, light of my eyes, that I let you make this journey." Previous, Anna was accusing Tobit of putting her son in harm's way. Now she is taking the blame, the responsibility for this. Tobit, while he believes that she's probably right, that probably their son has perished, says maybe they're just delayed. Maybe they're taking care of some unexpected business. And in fact, we know that that is the case. They are taking care of some unexpected business, and that unexpected business is a wedding celebration. So the scene is of Anna going out onto the front porch. As a matter of fact, there's a famous French painting that was painted about this in the 1900s of a woman standing at the fence that borders their house, staring off in the distance, looking for somebody coming up the road with a husband standing behind. And the problem with the picture is they're painted in 20th century French clothing, which is a criticism of the picture, but I think the bigger point is the fact that all of this is happening with, to talk about the story. I'm going to take 1 second here to plug something in. The sound quality should be better now. Okay, So Tobit is waiting for his son to appear, and meanwhile, the entourage, Gabael and Raguel, have agreed that they should start their process back to Nineveh. The whole entourage packs up and they start back. Now Raguel has given to Tobiah part of his property, part of his money, flock of sheep, oxen, donkeys, camels, clothing, household goods, and he embraces Tobiah. What? Okay, we've had a couple technical problems with Facebook today. Hopefully we're back on. Let me just pick up a little bit where I left off. Tobit is concerned that something has happened to his son. Anna is waiting for their son to show up, and they're looking down the road. Meanwhile, Tobiah has gone to Raguel and asked permission to leave to go back to his father Tobit. Raguel promptly hands over to Tobiah half of his property, flock of sheep, flock of some oxen, some donkeys, some camels, clothing, money, household goods. He bids them farewell, and meanwhile he joins them. That now Gabael, Raguel, their families, this huge entourage of people are on their way back to Nineveh to continue the celebration. One of the things that Edna says to her daughter is, I hope that you will have children before I die. The father says to Sarah, I want you to treat your mother and father-in-law as if they are your own parents, and I hope you have children before I die. I hope I get to see them. So they're all on their way back, and again, the angel Raphael says to Tobiah, it's probably going to be a good idea if you and I speed on ahead. We're going kind of slow, and it would probably be a good idea if you and I sped up. They can catch up to us. We'll just run on ahead. He said, meanwhile, you remember that fish gall that you kept from the time that the fish caught you? What I want you to do is I want you to get that into your hand, squish it, and keep it in your hand. And when we get up to Tobit, I want you to rub the gall in Tobit's eyes. So they continue going up. Tobiah sees his mother first, and she is elated to see him. And then he goes to his father. His father is blind still. He puts the gall in his hand and says, "Courage, father," and then he smears the gall in his father's eyes. And then is able to peel with his hands the cataracts off his father's eye. And when Tobit finally sees, he throws his arms around his son and he says, "I can see you, son, the light of my eyes," and offers a prayer. One of the things that's remarkable back in ancient times, this would have been probably 2,300 years ago or more, gall actually was used as a medicine for eyes, especially for cataracts. Because of its caustic nature, it would actually shrink the cataract on the eye. I would imagine that it takes a little more time than the story suggests, and I'm not sure if you can peel the cataract off the eye. I wasn't able to find that out, but it is used. So the book of Tobit has a remarkable understanding of eye medications from that time period, and it was done with fish gall. There's a triple blessing that Tobit offers. He blesses God, he blesses God's name, he blesses God's angels. 4 times he uses the word to bless. Twice he mentions God's angels, even as he unknowingly stands in the presence of Raphael, God's angel sent to help him. Despite its brevity, the prayer contains the basic principle of Tobit's life and of the book. God afflicts and God has mercy. So this is the story for today's installment. Next week, we will come to the exciting conclusion of our book. The exciting conclusion could be subtitled All's Well That Ends Well. Hope you're enjoying this book as much as I am. Some of the themes that were covered in today's installment is once again the importance of family, the importance of prayer. God hears prayers, God answers prayers, and family. There's a family here, an extended family that's all sticking together and staying together. Thank you very much for tuning in today. I will see you soon. Bye now.